I have the mini iPhone as well. I just like
This is what
small
I'm saying.
things. So like this isn't
That's
that
what
small.
you used to, huh?
This is for this is 14 inches, so it's not the smallest. They do smaller
Whey!
than that.
That's what she said.
Boom.
It's
Right,
just
let's
so
start
I
on
can
this
carry it.
vibe, right?
All right.
Hi and welcome to the Vice Press Open Channel episode, whatever the fuck this is.
19. It's 19.
Is it 19? 19. I'm here with Matt Ferguson.
Language.
I know.
Shocking.
I forgot. Shall I do that
Okay,
again?
Captain
Was that-
America.
No, it's too late
Keep
now.
it,
We've started.
keep
We've
it.
started. We're going
We're
down
rolling.
that road.
There's no
Yes,
starting
hello
again tonight.
everybody.
Florey
Hello.
and Tom. From
What's up?
Broadcast.
What's up, people? How's everybody doing? Sweating away like me, or?
Actually, it's quite cool here now comparatively. Over the weekend, though, it was unbelievably hot. It was like 35.
We had like yesterday because I went to the House of the Dragon like preview screening or whatever it was, and on the way there, like the craziest thunderstorm rain came down. I think the streets filled like up to like 30-40 centimeters of water. Like driving through it with the car was like being like a boat. It was
Fun.
really crazy.
It's actually episode 18.
Is it? No. I'm gonna look this
Go
up.
check, wouldn't you? Oh my god.
No,
The
that's not
watch-along.
true. The watch along is 18.
No, we did no, because we had this argument, didn't we?
Watchalong
Where-
is its own separate series.
Watchalong is
Oh,
its
that's
own
true.
episode
Okay.
1, so this is episode 18.
See? Okay, it's my bad, people. I have the folder where the watch along stuff is in. It was episode 18 before.
There we go.
I'm not
Fuck.
wearing a hat.
I do.
That's true.
I had my hair shaved off. I've
It looks
got
good,
eye
though.
strain. I'm working too much. And I'm tired and more grumpy than usual.
There just seems to be an air of grumpiness across all of us this morning. Like,
Yeah, I'm worn out. I'm done. Like I think we were saying before we came on that this year feels like it's gone for 2 years because we're not used to doing anything other than like being in our houses and stuff. And yeah, it's gonna be a low energy podcast, everyone. We're gonna grumble. We're gonna grouse. We're gonna fucking just be miserable, old people.
Sometimes you gotta take it slow, huh?
prepare yourselves.
That's the thing, you can't though, because everything just keeps moving. The world's back.
Yeah, that's
slow
the other
motion
thing
is
is
better
it's
than no
content. I was thinking about this morning. This is not a grumble really, but maybe it is. I can't keep up with it all.
No.
It's just like there's this Sandman show, there's this Hulk show starting this week, there's this other show, there's that show and the show and the show.
And it's not even September, right? September is when all the new season starts.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
liking cinema more because cinema at the moment, the cinema it's like there's still
Nothing
still
out.
Top Gun.
Yeah, there's nothing. Are they re-releasing like E.T. and like Avatar and shit? Like, there's absolutely nothing
Rogue
coming
One's
out.
getting some screening,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
That's so bizarre.
It is weird, isn't it? Like,
I think
Did
it's
they just get-
it's the result of doubling down on streaming at the start of the pandemic, and now they've kind of not got the big tentpoles already. And I think next year might be a bit more like a normal cinema.
How long before they're just like, oh, now they go in reverse and it's like, we've all watched Secret Invasion and it's like awesome, it's the best one they've done, it's massive hit, and then they go, see it in cinemas, like you can just sit there all day and watch the whole season or something. Like I could absolutely see that happening.
Yeah, me too.
it would
If
be
they're
pretty
good.
cool. I mean, didn't they try that with Eternals, though, where they released episode 1 in the cinemas?
It'd be like a full.
Not
Eternals?
Eternals, Inhumans.
It'd be a full
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember
circle
that.
sort
The
of
first
thing,
two.
wouldn't it? Because they wouldn't have to show the whole thing. It would be like the serials back in the day. So you would literally, you'd get half an hour of a program or 45 minutes of a program, and it'd be a double bill with something else, like a 90-minute movie maybe. And it'd be like, catch up next time, and then in a couple of weeks they bring another one out, and you go to the cinema to see it. I'd love serials to come.
Well, there was an interesting development with there's a chap, one of the chap that wrote Rogue One, Gary Whitta. I like him. He's on podcasts and stuff. He he was on another podcast talking about his new podcast, which is a sci-fi mech serial drama thing. So basically, he wanted to make this mech movie, realized it would cost too much and no one's ever going to fucking make it because he's in the system. So he's like, that's just not going to happen. But he really wanted to get it out there. So he wrote it as a book and then realized, hang on, I could do one of those audio books. So now what he's doing is like, I think it's like every Saturday on Twitch, you can jump on for an hour and a half and he's there and he like introduces it. And then you listen to that week's episode of the audio book, audio drama, radio play, I guess, if it's live.
Yeah.
So how cool is that? Like I was like, this is the best. This sounds like the best thing ever.
That's what they did with like the like they had the first like a Wolverine thing that was a serial thing, and then they had the
vaguely.
Batman, which was very well received.
Are they on Audible or something? Are they like? Or is
I think it was on Audible, yeah, but I think it was also on Spotify, so you can get it everywhere.
The cast when they do the cast recordings of the game and stuff, they've done Anansi Boys and American Gods and stuff like that, and they've had really cool casts that have done all the voices, and they're just played like audio plays, and they're really good to listen to. But the content thing, you're right about the content thing. It just seems I'm so far behind with everything. Like in any normal world, Sandman would be something that I was kind of queuing up to watch. Would watch it the day it came out. I just haven't had time. I haven't watched Better Call Saul yet. I'm still catching up on Severance.
I've not watched any of that.
I watched the first like 3 seasons and we loved it, and and then it swapped to like a different streaming thing or something like that. So it's like kind of fell off and didn't get to the next one. I'm just like, now I don't know when we would even fit 4 seasons of that in, but it's meant to be. It's a great show. It's what do you do? I think you should just watch where you want to watch, which is probably reruns of Seinfeld. Really, like who else? What else? The show do you need?
Seinfeld a lot. Yeah.
But then there's office shows, isn't there? There's stuff that you watch while you're working. Like I'm doing a bit of a Simpsons rewatch while I'm working. We've done Seinfeld while we've been working, and It's Always Sunny. There's those things that you don't have to put too much time into.
Yeah, I watch more stuff that I'm half interested in than I do fully interested in, because like the stuff that I really want to watch, I want to sit down and watch it, but I never get time to do anything other than work. So I just put on like series I'm not that interested in, and then that's interesting because you find the gems then too. Like you're like, oh, I actually really loved like Sweet Tooth or stuff like that. You know, those middle of the rung things you're not sure about.
Yeah,
I got into Bob's Burgers in the end. It like brainwashed me a little bit.
Have you seen?
Because you kept it going and going.
Yeah. The movie, I've just watched it because I finished all 12 seasons, and then I watched the movie, and it's got good songs, very good songs. I prefer the series. What I love is Mr. Fishoder, who is voiced by Kevin Kline, and he's just so funny. He's like the rich guy that owns their building, and he's just
out to
where's
Kevin
my
Kline.
rent?
Kevin Kline was around for Kevin Kline was something when back in the late 90s, early 90s. He seemed to be in every comedy.
He's so
was
funny
amazing.
though. He's so funny, and
It wasn't
just,
a Wild
he's got a funny
Wild West.
voice, and he's just like rent. Where's my rent?
Fish Called
He
Wanda.
plays like he has money fights with his brother and stuff like that. It's just like there's one where they're driving down the street and him and his brother are just having a money fight, throwing money at each other.
I did a poster
Bob's
for
just
Bob.
like, oh my god.
I did a poster for Bob's Burgers, and that show sucks. I watched like 4 or 5 episodes just to like get a grasp of what it is.
It gets better after season 1. It does get good, honestly.
It's like all that shit, like Big Mouth, and like even I know BoJack's meant to be good, but like
BoJack's the best cartoon ever.
I'm just like, fuck, I don't care about this. Even
no. Don't be. BoJack is absolutely amazing, incredible.
Just can't be bothered.
Well, fuck you.
Goes
It's
back to
alright.
that, doesn't it? Just can't be bothered.
Fuck you, fuck you, and fuck you.
But this
Fuck
stuff,
all of you.
I think Archer was good. Like I kind of fell behind a bit with
That
that.
was
With
Archer
Patrick
was
Archer.
good. That was good.
I love
What are they going to do about poor old?
There's
what's
an
her face?
episode of BoJack where he does a eulogy, and it's just him doing the eulogy, the whole episode.
I know.
And it's absolutely incredible. It's
Yeah.
genius.
It comes down to this, right? I have one cartoon, and it's the best show that's ever been made, and that's Bluey, and that's all I need.
Bluey is the best show that's ever been made. The new series has been on, and we've been watching that Fairy Tale's a very good episode. I really like that.
Which is the one where
It's the way they talked about the 80s.
Oh,
we didn't have.
I was waiting for you to get. I was waiting for you to get that to that episode. We can't go into this now because no one else
really
will understand what the fuck we're talking about. But that's an incredible episode. Basically, guys,
the mum takes a flip flop off.
Yeah, they flash back and it's dad telling the story about like a family holiday away in the 80s, and everything that he goes through is just like the excuse is they're like, what? Nana used to hit you, and he's like, it's the 80s. Like, wait, you didn't wear helmets on your bikes? It was the 80s. Like, it just keeps going.
His dad is like a real proper 80s dad.
Just does not. He doesn't want anything to do with them.
So funny.
You were on about what's Archie going to do with thingy Walter, Jessica Walter?
Jessica Walters from ResDev.
So Kayvan Novak plays that is the head of the agency, or head of an agency that's taken over their agency, and I think this whole new series is them kind of battling for who's going to be in charge, kind of thing. That idea. But Kayvan Novak's brilliant in everything he's in anyway, so that should be.
Yeah, I love all the different things they did. It's some great stuff. What was his name? Barry? No, the robot dude.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But it's like his name in the series is Barry, right? Isn't it Barry or what's the...
There is a Barry. I don't know.
What was it?
There'll be people shouting at the radio now. Radio?
The wireless.
The wireless. The crank.
Yes, coming to you now from the open channel, Vice Press.
I've got a dent in my forehead that I never
from
really
frowning.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I think.
The fuck is that?
I think,
what is this?
I think that might be my daughter.
Well, the
Ringing
doorbell.
The doorbell. Good on you.
Brilliant.
I did tell them I was doing this.
But she knows you.
cares?
Yeah, I mean, you're not home alone, right, man?
I am home alone, but not now. They've come back.
Oh, okay. I thought.
Why do they like to do that? Like, just they know they don't need to ring the doorbell, but they love
Fun
to ring
the
the doorbell.
I think she just likes the sound. I think that's what it must be.
It's
Why
like
not?
you guys have those Ring doorbells, like the creepy ones.
I've got one.
No, I
refuse. I refuse to have any kind of camera like that.
God,
I mean, it's
here we
out.
go.
Yeah.
It's not
If
a
I
bad
could,
thing,
I'd
though.
have a metal bell attached to a wire with a little hammer that hit it. That's what my mum and dad have at their house. They have an old Victorian doorbell. And my dad's just like, no technology.
I think it's kind of fun. Like, especially when
They've got a rotary telephone that he
What?
uses.
The
And I'm
black
like,
phone.
You used a Bakelite telephone.
Wow.
And when you phone them up their house phone, it just sounds like you're talking to somebody from 100 years ago. It's like the phone is 100 years old.
Because that's one of those things with phones, right? You go, we've come so far. Why does everyone still sound shit on the phone, right? Even on iPhones and stuff. It's just everyone just sounds like shit, like technology of phones. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't sound like we sound on these mics or anything. It's just everyone sounds like shit on the phone. Not that I call anybody.
Come on, how will you put this kind of mic into a phone?
Do it.
So,
I don't know.
well,
they put everything else in
down.
the world into there.
I mean, you can. I think you can do this one because this is a USB one, and I think you can plug it into the phone and use it as a mic.
oh, that's.
But you know what I'm talking about, right? That phones still sound like shit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Why?
They
But
do.
why?
Yeah.
You just sound like you're in a tunnel.
Well, I think
But it's-
part of it is because phones nowadays, being a phone, isn't their primary function, is it?
Fair.
So they're
incredibly compressed sound so that it goes quick across.
And also, most people
Well, yeah.
tend to talk on their phone like this nowadays,
They do.
like fucking idiots.
Well,
Like-
that's so fucking annoying.
I
Why
love
do
it.
they do that on loudspeaker? Loudspeaker.
The worst
I
part
enjoy
is
doing speaker when I'm doing a phone call in the office
Yeah.
because I'm like tapping away on the computer doing work at the same time. But
Sure,
otherwise,
that's acceptable.
normal.
Not when you're in Tesco.
No, not when I'm driving my car. I see people driving their car like this.
It's hands
I'm on
free, man.
hands-free.
Holding it in front of the
Mad.
face.
Go back to
Tom's
ring
with the
doorbell
kids.
question.
Tom's with the kids. Like,
Yeah,
what are
Tom's
what are your
groovy.
students doing with their goddamn phones these days?
I mean, playing games and sending like TikToks, I
TikToking.
guess, and Snapchatting and all that stuff.
Snapchat was out, bro. That's out of here. That's gone.
They still do
Or is
that.
that gone?
Here.
Do they?
But I mean, but it depends on like which kids you ask. Like I don't know if you ask the older ones, like in school, they are still on Snapchat and Instagram and stuff like that. Like this little tidbit. If they're watching, shout out to my advanced English course, because they're trying to, like, the boys try to get girls on Instagram. That's what they do. And then you have like the little younger ones. They are on Snapchat. Everybody. And then the really younger ones, they're all on TikTok.
So what's
that's right.
Snapchat?
It's basically
Oh
the
god,
same
we can't
thing.
do this.
Photos.
Photos.
It's when you want to send a picture of your dick to someone. But
You
don't
send a
want it to
picture to somebody.
Yeah.
Because it goes away, right?
Yeah,
It goes away.
Snapchat, yeah, and it's like you can. I mean, everybody adopted that, so you can have it like for 10 seconds, 1 minute, forever, however you want to set it up. 1 play, 2 plays.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Essentially, what Instagram can't decide what it wants to be.
I've given up on Instagram. I don't use it anymore. It's rubbish.
It has shit the bed.
The whole social media thing is shit the bread at the minute. It's so
Twitter
depressing.
seems to, now that the Elon Musk thing has sort of fallen by the wayside, they seem to have actually got good again. So I don't know if there was some shenanigans going on for a bit while that deal was happening.
Well, he seems to
Because it
think
was
so.
really, really bad for a couple of months where like nothing was getting seen, and now people are seeing stuff again. People are like, oh yeah, I saw your tweet, whereas before, like, nobody saw anything I tweeted.
Did you? By the way, did you see, Florey? I put James Hobson on your poster because we had it last time on the podcast, and he was he was what's his name? Kurt Russell, Snake Plissken.
Well, you
Did
photoshopped.
was it-
I saw this.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to go
on
watch
like
it.
the little YouTube cover thing.
Yeah.
Was
Did
it
he
a
like the
Hobson-approved
poster?
poster?
He doesn't do Hobson approved anymore.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Should we talk about this?
Because he was saying it, people were shit, basically.
Well, because if you don't get an approved, then that is the inclination is that he doesn't like the
You're no
poster.
good.
When really all the approval ones, I guess, were ones that he really, really, really loved. All
This-
the artwork that you're putting on that show, you've picked because you like it, right?
Exactly.
And
I
there's
mean,
just some that he thinks are like, wow, this one's really special.
this is the subjective part that he likes these posters. And like, I don't know, if we talk about the galleries, we always include every gallery piece that came out, and then obviously you can't like everything, and it's not because it's a subjective matter, but that doesn't mean the art is bad.
It was the funniest thing that I like. One of the funniest things that to me only, because I'm sitting here chuckling to myself while I watched it. It's like, I think Tom was like, "Oh, we're talking about your probably Batman or something a little while ago," and he's like, "Watch the thing," and I'm like, "All right, I'll watch the thing and see what you guys have to say about it." And he's like, "You were like, so is it a?" He's like, "Yeah, I like it. It's really good." Blah blah blah. And he's like, "Is it approved?" And he's like, "Nah." Gave an approval to the other one, and I'm like, this motherfucker, what makes me watch the thing, and then I don't even get the top points? Like, what the got a bone to pick with this kid?
Validate me! Validate me!
Yeah, that's all I was watching it for.
Yeah, I would be annoyed if I didn't get an approved as well, to be honest. Although,
I mean, you didn't get the one for your Thor, for the one Thor. Well, the other you did, but you
Oh,
got the
yeah,
other
one
one
for
did.
that's all right, isn't it? See, I get to do 2 posters for everything now, me.
So this is why they don't do
Got
it
2
anymore.
posters.
Exactly. But yeah, it was a little behind the scenes stuff, and we didn't want to like because the
No.
thing is, because we said that before, we will always watch, like, we always have everything we liked in there, and we approve on like or he approves on subjective things, and I say I like this one a lot, but for the artists that come in, they only watch basically their part, and then they
Yeah,
say, "Oh,
same.
mine didn't get approved, so must be shit." Well, it's not that way. It's
Whenever
just,
you tag me on a video you've done and you say you're in this episode and it's like an interview with an artist for 2 hours, I just scroll through quick until I see one of my posters and I go, yeah, I'll
Okay.
watch that bit.
Yep,
Because that's, what a normal narcissistic egotistical maniac would do, right?
exactly.
Which is what we all are in our own little box, thinking everybody hates us, or in his case,
little
thinking everybody
world.
loves us, and we just want to know what's going on out there outside our
Hey,
cave.
I did a panel at the weekend at the Transformers.
I was about to
convention we
say,
went
this kid up here's got a goddamn Transformer, and that is James Henshaw. He
James
does
bought a
not
couple
participate in Transformers.
James bought a couple of Transformers, and he couldn't transform that one to start off with, but a 6-year-old boy came and did it for him. this little boy was like, "Yeah, I'll do that for you."
Oh,
was like,
no.
"There you go."
Look, right.
I love it. So you got sucked in, James.
It's just
you're trying to get
whole-
involved.
It's the little desk ones. They're cute, aren't they? Like I bought this little lad, and it's just fun to have on the desk and play with, you know.
It's just it's that whole.
I always
thing.
have my USB stick.
Yeah,
You're at a
fidget.
convention, right?
Yeah.
I like 80s plastic shit, and you just kind of find yourself drawn in, and it is fun. They're fun little things. Would I collect them? Will I collect them? No. But yeah, I'm alright to have a little bit.
Neither
of a
would
play
I,
around.
though.
A little bit of a fiddle.
So apparently, according to several people that came up to me at the convention, I was very good at my panel and very entertaining.
Interesting. Is
So
there a
what-
chance
this
to
was
see
the
it?
first-
What happened?
Oh,
Tell
I
sorry.
us.
don't think they recorded it, but a funny thing did happen, which was straight off of Spinal Tap. It was absolutely incredible. Like, so the guy's asking me questions about my Transformers artwork, about like the Unicron that I've done and stuff, and I'm just going through it. Oh, I can hear someone coming down the steps. It's a repeat, but with a child. Oh, I heard Kate go, Martha, no. It's literally a repeat. So anyway, I'm in the middle of doing this thing, and he must have been, 70, right, James?
Yeah, I would say so.
17 or 17?
70.
17.
This really hunched over man, like a steward guy for the hotel that it was in.
Yeah.
Comes up on stage, and he's holding 2 bottles of water and 2 glasses. Bear in mind, we've already got bottles of water and glasses, and he comes over really slowly. And so we've stopped, and we're just like looking at him. He's like, puts them down, and he's like clinking them and making noise and stuff. And then he's like, sorry for the disturbance, and then slowly walks off. And I was just like, what? Well, at least we've got a drink now.
It was a complete like Faulty Towers moment where he got like Manuel just kind of crept up onto. It didn't even creep. Well, he did. He kind of. It was really funny because he went.
He was hunched over, wasn't he? Because he was like trying to
really
be out of the
hunched over
lights,
behind
but
them.
you're on stage, mate.
Like clanking down, clearing up the stage, just kind of. Yeah, it was funny. It was hilarious. It was the best.
What did you talk about?
Why did you guys tape it?
Why didn't I tape it? What,
Yeah.
on my phone? Sat there like a fucking weirdo creep.
Yeah, make it
you're a
something
creep.
for the show. We could have added that to the pre-record
Well, he
show.
didn't know that was going to happen. We talked about the Blu-ray
Oh.
and
I think they
poster
did.
and stuff, and like I went through it all and you know showed a load of behind the scenes and work in progress and how
Ah, so you had a
much-
thing you
how
could
much
kind of like.
serious amounts of workers involved in it all and stuff, and then they still think it's like magic. It's like it's not magic. It's a bastard amount of work actually.
It's science.
Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, it became quite apparent to me. I said this to you afterwards. I mean, I know how much work you put into these things and how long it takes you. But it even gave me a kind of appreciation.
Oh,
Of,
did it?
yeah.
Now the
I was
next
also
panel will
entertaining,
be.
and I made some jokes. Like I said, won a bet at one point when they were talking about like Megatron not being dead, and I was like, won a bet, and then it made them all laugh. Like, they're like, oh, he knows it. He knows the line.
He said the thing.
So that was funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
So
asked
when's James's
questions.
panel to give Matt appreciation for what he does? He'll just like go through some spreadsheets and stuff, and
I'll fall asleep, but also I'll totally have a new appreciation because I can't understand it. I can't get my head around spreadsheets and talking to business people.
yeah, I think whenever
with
James is
officers that do licenses and things, I'm just like this.
whenever James has helped me with anything, like for my store in the back end or something like that, I'll be like, "Hey, why is this?" And then second sentence in, I'm like, "Nope, that's too much for me, bud."
Is that the meme where all the
surface
math
level,
formula
please.
comes up?
Now say that, but in English.
Your beautiful mind.
Yeah. Hey, you did it.
Converted him.
Oh, is that why you've been quiet?
Yeah.
How
Concentrated.
Yeah. This is
100%
Should
of
I
his
try
brain.
and transform this? Because I got
this
this
is
at the
how
weekend.
me and
Yeah,
Tom
go on.
I'll
feel
be
in
transforming this for
every
about an
other
hour.
episode.
Yeah. Exactly.
So the weekend overall, it was pretty fun, to be honest. It was nice. We were hanging around with the more art guys. I just went to help Matt out with the booth. It wasn't a vice press thing. I went out to help Matt.
Well, we had a poster on sale.
Yeah, we did. I was going to come on to that in a sec, but that poster's available today, so this won't be going up today. So it's already been on sale. It's already sold out. So top.
It can
I
go
don't-
up
I
today
don't
if you
think
want
it's
to,
gonna sell
but
out.
it might be sold out by then.
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
And we hung around with the more art guys and with Kia and James and Sonia that kind of will run there, and they're really nice. They're very good. So if you've never been over to More Art before, go and check out their website and have a look, because they've got some pretty cool Transformers stuff over there.
I think they've got their heads screwed on right. They're nice. They're nice people. And,
They are. They're very
There's a good
pleasant.
Sonic. There's a couple of good Sonic ones as well.
they showed me
game
a new
stuff.
one that they've got coming out soon by Mark, which is pretty good.
Oh, Mark Bell's is very good. That's
My
fun.
stomach is
Cool.
grumbling.
I also saw some video, and I thought always Kia was like super tall, but he wasn't. Because like I saw James taking a video, and I saw
Yeah.
Matt and Keir standing next to each other. So I was like, what? I thought he was taller.
James Hobson's really tall.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
he?
no.
How tall?
Oh, I'd say
Get up to battle
pushing
him.
6 foot. He's taller than me.
Yeah, I'd say he's taller than me.
How tall are you, Matt?
That's annoying.
I am 5'11".
Okay, so almost
I'm-
180, huh?
Maybe 5'10"
bang.
now that I've cut my hair off.
Yeah, so I get an extra couple of inches on the hair depending on what time of the month it is.
But,
But yeah.
yeah. So what have we got to talk about release-wise? We've got Matt's.
Well, no, we're not finished with that yet.
Yeah,
are we?
I have some
What about
questions. I have
this?
some questions here.
What about this?
Oh, you have questions?
Look
Look
at
at this. They don't know what that is, Matthew.
What is it? The Exorcist Transformer?
It's Rekgar from the movie that we just watched the other week. The jump-
That's the
Eric
Generation
Idle.
1. That's the actual
But it's
Generation
the original
1
one.
movie.
He's got his nipple guns.
Okay.
It's
Remember
terrible.
the
but it's
Motorbike Man?
brilliant. Yeah. And then I'm going to reveal to you, Florey, that I purchased you a present while I was there. I got you this.
Yes,
It
he's
is-
the Australian Transformer.
He's called Outback. So you
Oh.
see, he's an Australian Transformer, which is why I purchased it.
Yay!
How appropriate.
Yes.
Strike the flame and crows. If
And
you
then
if you
some other
actually
stuff
go
that
back
I'm
and
not
listen
bothered
to that, you listen to that dialogue, it's very much not an Australian accent, but they're trying pretty hard for the 80s.
How racist is it on a scale of 1 to 10?
I
is it
don't
just-
know.
is it
We're,
just-
we're,
But are Australians a race?
nah, we're just a
It's-
creed.
Yeah, how xenophobic is it, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
We don't want
racism, it's
Australians
just-
near us. We don't want Australians in our country.
It's just
Well, tough
xenophobic.
shit, because come November, hopefully I'll be getting.
Literally,
getting
you
it
guys
in.
wrote a song called Riff Raff, which is very accurate, I reckon, to what Australians are like. AC/DC song called Riff Raff. You should know, aren't AC/DC
Never
like
heard,
taught in school?
never heard of them.
Is there something with electricity?
They're totally
Acad-
taught in school there,
Mate,
and you know it.
It's Akadaka here, okay?
Um,
Come on now.
okay.
There's ACDC Lane up in Melbourne, and they've got a lane named after them there, where you go and see rock and or roll shows and get shit faced.
Like concert
Very,
halls
it's
and
very
concert
fitting. It's very,
halls.
very fitting.
So I got a question. So James, what was your highlight from TF Nation?
My highlight, to be honest, this sounds really cheesy and stuff, and I was saying this to Matt on the way home. It was kind of hanging around with Matt and James and Kia and Sonia. That was pretty
Mostly
cool.
me.
Mostly you. And just kind of not really being able to go to one of these things and have zero responsibility.
Well, that's usually,
not
my,
good.
that's usually my thing, isn't it? But I was there as a guest and had to go do things.
Yeah.
And people were like, "Can you sign this hat? Can you sign this? Can you sign this booklet? Can you sign it?" And I signed a lot of stuff, and I had to take a lot of pictures with people.
Yeah, there you go.
Like
That's
before we
cool.
went, I did
Which
my
is weird.
usual. We should maybe take this. We should maybe take this. We should maybe take this. Which kind of, but that's just.
Is that did you guys meet some of our community, like poster people, or
Nope.
nobody
There was a
came out?
couple of people that were poster people. There was one guy who had some posters of mine
Mhm.
that he wanted me to sign, and he knew. And then there was actually quite a few people who knew about the Blu-ray stuff that I've done and stuff like that, and that was their entry point into
Ah, okay.
this sort of stuff. And then it bleeds through, doesn't it?
Mm.
That's kind of what I was talking about, like when we were looking for that. We're joking about the validation stuff and just wanting to see what people think about things, other than like angry people yelling at you through text on the internet. But it's when you go out to these kind of things, and people actually like. I remember when we had our show, and I was like, okay, I'm in a gallery in Brooklyn and someone just walked up and said, "Are you the guy?" And I'm like, "I am the guy." That's bizarre. Like, it's super weird that like anyone knows anything, even though we're constantly trying to tell people about it on the internet. But when it bleeds into real life, I always find it weird and fun.
Yeah. Yeah, Matt, what was your highlight, Matt?
I will actually hanging out with James. Yeah.
Oh,
Easy.
friends. Oh,
Come on, I'm gonna put some love hearts going up and stuff now.
We had a nice
I think
time.
they held
We had a
hands
few
the whole
drinks
time.
and stuff, and
It was-
that was nice. Like it was work. Otherwise, there was a lot of work and a lot of people wanting a piece of me, and a lot of sort of talking. Talking to people, and yeah.
Yeah,
We got
that's
to chill out a lot, didn't we? We got to just
Well, yeah.
it was fun.
I mean, there's
It's
after
too hot, though.
hours,
The problem is
right?
It was so hot. That's not their fault, is it? But it was like, it was at least 30 in the hall.
Oh,
It was because the AC wasn't working properly, so it was really, really, really hot.
I see.
It doesn't help that we went and we put a big table in front of an AC vent.
Those things are notoriously hard to like cool with people in them, right? Like,
Yeah, when there's like a couple of thousand people in a room,
yeah.
And especially when you get idiots like us that line up our tables with tablecloths in front
That's
of
what
the
I just
AC
said.
event. Oh, did you?
yeah,
James is just thinking about how to untransform his.
turned
This
into
is-
a Transformers.
This is how melted my brain is today.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's kind of like I slept like a log last night because at our hotel. The worst thing about this weekend though was Jesus fucking Christ. Why are people so selfish when they go to hotels?
3:30.
Just being screaming in the hallway and stuff. Yeah, that's always good, isn't it?
It's amazingly appropriate at 1 o'clock in the morning, at 3 o'clock in the morning, at 4 o'clock in the morning to samba down the hallway, or because your kid's annoying you in your bedroom to let him in the hallway to listen to his iPad on full blast.
There's a little bit of backstory here.
Promo.
In tandem with the Transformers convention, there was a dance convention, which was anybody can dance or something like that, and there was Latin dancing and Zumba, and so in the
Kids
bar
hip-hop.
at the hotel, it was like a mix of Transformers nerds, which I'm sure you know what they're like, and then like people that dance and are very like bright and dancey and stuff, and yeah, there was people dancing around a lot in the hallways.
Well, there you go.
That's one way to do it, I guess.
Honestly, I'm not picking on dancers specifically, but anybody. Because
Why?
I'm sure some of
Take them down, James. Fuck them.
Because some of you might have been Transformers people, I don't know, that were in the bar and decided to go sambaing. But if you're the type
Pretty
of
sure it was the
person,
dance people.
if you're the type of person that is noisy in a corridor of a hotel, you can go to hell. Like, really, just it's not. No,
But
no,
don't put it on the dancers. It's
No,
just
I'm not. That's
people.
what I'm saying. It was probably
Oh.
just people, just
Okay.
in general.
Just people.
And-
People are jerks, man.
yeah, and I don't like selfishness. I don't like it when, oh, but I'm having a good time. Oh, great.
Yeah,
Yeah, fine. As long as you're having a good time, brilliant. Thank you.
I got woken up as well. It was 6, and I didn't have to get up at 6, so it was like I woke up to this. I think it was a lady person, and she was screaming at the top of her lungs that how bad the German state works and everything, and like she was like complaining, but she must be like mentally confused in some kind of capacity, I guess. But police showed up, and then she was screaming, "I want political asylum! I want political asylum!" It was like right across my like my window. I was like, "Whoa,
Well,
what's
don't
going
we all?
on?"
I mean, don't we all?
Diplomatic community.
It's just like, I agree with you. Shut the fuck up.
I was wondering why political asylum though. You must be, you are German, and you want political asylum in Germany?
Was she screaming in German?
Yeah, she was screaming in German, but,
Okay.
like perfect German. So it wasn't like Austrian or something like that, which wouldn't make sense
Whoa.
anyways. So I was like, wait, what?
Taking down the Austrians and the dancers tonight.
I meant this like Swiss
I
German.
know,
You know
I
what I
know.
mean. You know what I mean.
I'll tell you one thing about these conventions as well that I don't like.
Here we go. Listen
This is
close.
James's
Lean
grumpy
forward, lean
corner.
forward into the camera.
I always lose my voice. Like,
He does.
always lose my voice. Like, it goes hoarse and croaky and just and then instantly the next day, fine.
Is it
fine.
the air? Is it the air maybe?
I
Like the
think
dry
so.
air?
Got the
think
dry
so,
air
like-
and the screaming at people about, whatever they're buying. Or
You do
whatever.
talk as well, though, James.
Well, normally I would say, yeah, that is probably I didn't really talk anywhere near as much as what I normally talk at these
You
things.
still talked more than I did, I think. Because I just go like this.
Yeah,
Once
but
I'm done talking, and then they can walk away or try talking a bit more if they want.
it's definitely my
Try.
vocal cords. I get it. It must be the dry air combined with
It is the AC, definitely, because I'm a bit hoarse from it as well, to be honest.
the booze and stuff like that, and fizzy, because I don't normally drink fizzy pop and stuff, I guess, so it's not a good combination with all of that. Maybe it's
I won't
that.
hear,
But
I
yeah,
won't hear
that
a bad
sucks.
word said about booze. That's not his fault.
Okay. Guys,
Yeah.
we're almost 40 minutes in, and I just wanted to know, like, what did you guys watch? Anything happen? Anything you've seen? Because we went to that in the beginning, but I guess not this time, so. Anybody seen anything good?
I watched Alien versus Predator for the first time since it
And
came
how
out.
was
Since
it?
cinema. It's crap.
So no poster for Alien vs. Predator.
What did I watch? Rocky 3?
Oh, that was on
pretty dope,
TV here the other day as well.
Yeah, pretty dope. I got to watch Rocky 4 to keep up with the Watchalong thing I'm watching.
I
Which
started.
version of Rocky 4? The new one? Or
I'll
the
be
original?
watching the normal one, but then if it's easy to obtain, I might like to watch because I think out of all the Rockies, 4 is probably the one I've seen the most. Because as a kid, you're just like,
Yeah,
this
same.
is a fucking thing, mate. Let's do it. Because it's just so hype. Like everything about it it's basically Cobra Kai or something. Like
It's just the best, yeah.
yeah, it's just awesome. But I would like to see the changes because I know the original so well. But if you're watching
He's
a
like
watch
cut the
along
robot
thing,
out though, hasn't he? Hasn't he cut the robot out?
Yeah, the robot's cut out.
what was its name?
Rock'em Sock'em.
It's like, do you want a beer, Paulie? Or whatever.
Fucking Paulie, Jesus! What
What
a
a
character!
Absolute piece of shit.
Like that's the thing. I think from being a kid and then like watching these, he's like, oh, Paulie's just this goofball who kind of like lives in his house. Uncle Paulie, he's a bit of a funster. And then you watch this asshole
It's like
through
smacking
this whole
his sister
series.
around.
He has no redeeming qualities whatsoever. It's like, can you just actually get into a fight with him and knock him the fuck down? Because he's a real piece of shit. Anyway,
Like wants
that's
his
Rocky.
sister to stay at home to cook for him and stuff, doesn't he? It's just like,
Yeah, he's horrible.
whoa.
Well, that's what makes the first film. Some of that stuff makes the first film so good because it is a shithole and everyone there sucks. Like that. That's he has to climb out of that fucking hole to become the champion. Well, eventually.
Dun, 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 dun.
Spoiler alert.
Alone. I've been watching this reality show called Alone. Has anyone heard of this? I just explained it like 50 minutes ago to the other turds before we started recording this. But it's the one where they like go into off the coast of Vancouver on this island, right? And there's no camera crew. They just get given cameras and shit, and they get like 10 items or whatever, and they just have to survive the longest, and they get $500,000.
So
And
it's Bear Grylls with random people.
Yeah, but with like people, they're kind of like into it. Actually, it's really quite good, and it's pretty interesting. Like with the stuff that they have to do because they're full on like there's no food. Like they have to find. Well, they're eating snails off the rocks near the sea, and then they're fucking trying to squash mouses under rocks and all this sort of bullshit. But the only problem with it, I've decided, is that I'm like, because I'm watching the one from like 10 years ago when it first started, season 1, season 2.
Okay.
I'm like, all these dudes would have voted for Trump. Every single one of them, because they've all got the camo and they all know like what they're doing in the outdoors, and they're all Americans. It's like, oh fuck, here we go. Actually, some might be Canadians. I think I might have put my foot in it there.
I mean, yeah.
Is it the type of thing you could do?
Oh, not a chance in hell. Like, you put me outside this house and turn me around 3 times, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's not my vibe. Maybe that's why I like it. I like to watch things that seem completely unrealistic and fanciful.
Have you watched anything, James?
I was
Maybe
just
the new Predator movie. Maybe that would be a good one for us to watch and talk about.
Yes, we were
still
going to
need
talk
to-
about that, but James can't bring himself to watch this really good film that's only an hour and
what is it?
30 minutes
90
long.
minutes? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's become a running joke, and I don't care. Right, I want to be able to sit down. I've got 2 beers in the fridge. 2 beers in the fridge.
They
and
call
I'm-
it Prey, the beer.
That I'm going to sit down when I get an hour and a half spare in front of the TV in UHD, so I can sit down and watch it and enjoy it. any time I'd have watched it over the past week since we recorded the Transformers episode would have been me rushing to watch it or watching it on the tiniest screen I have or something along those lines. So no, what have I been watching? George Clark's
amazing. Isn't that amazing? That's the best thing ever. Amazing.
Who the fuck's George Clark? I don't know what he's saying.
He's a bit like, it's like a Grand Designs type dude, and he's just this Geordie guy, and he's just like, it's amazing. And he's got about 6 programs where he just says it's amazing. It's the best thing he's ever seen. He's very positive.
Yeah. We've been watching Worst House on the Street, which is another program where they take the worst house on the street and
but that's like presented by a brother and sister who like.
No, they're
clearly they're brother and sister. They clearly don't know each other.
Who? Worst House on the Street?
Yeah.
They're married.
They are not married. They are brother and sister.
Could be both.
We watched it. We watched one episode of it, and it said they were check now online. Why don't you, James?
I'm going to
bet.
And
bet.
Me and Kate were like, they clearly do not know each other. It was really weird.
Oh, okay.
James.
Severance.
Have you checked?
Well, no, I'm going to do it in a minute. I've been watching Severance. Been watching a bit of Pointless, bit of Tipping Point. You know.
No, I'm gonna bloody.
Oh, you're gonna throw your phone.
This is more important.
We only watched one episode. It was rubbish. It's not as good as George Clark's amazing builds.
No,
what is this episode? what am I going to use for the graphic for this?
You're correct. I am wrong. I stand corrected. They are brother and sister. Fine.
But there you go. You thought they were married. It's very weird.
That's a vibe. That's a vibe.
They do have a very odd relationship. Which now... Nah, they're brother and sister. In Worst House on the Street. Isn't that a bit weird?
Oh, Lord.
Oh.
Did she just go, yeah, I know?
No, she was surprised, but she says it's not weird.
I just imagine now Nat's just like outside the door on a chair, just in case he needs me. It's like, what?
She's
This is the best.
Her office.
Horfus.
So,
God. This is a shambles today. This might be both better and worse than the one we did without James.
We'll send it. You know what? I'll send you a George Clark video. I'm sure there'll be one I can send you, and you can see.
Excellent.
I'm amazed he's not actually got a program in Australia. Australia's amazing builds.
Well, we do watch a bit of Saturday afternoon. Saturday afternoon, you get all that bullshit, right? We just get like, stone house, like log cabin living, and like all this sort of bullshit where people just go and build stuff in the wilderness. We like a house, as you call them, house programs here, where they just like, you get on and someone's just like, which house you want? International house hunting. There was couple of lesbians trying to look for a place in Germany the other week, and I was like, oh, this is great. Let's do this. Let's see how they go. And that's quite interesting.
Top dog is Grand Designs, though. It's just
yeah.
That's the best.
And it's so funny that because when they started the Australian version, Grand Designs is just people
who
building
build their own house, and it's always architect, and there's meant to be some sort of merit to it architecturally, and it's not just renovating a house.
I really enjoyed, like, have you seen it on Netflix, Extraordinary Buildings or something like that, where
it's similar
these two
to that,
British people go around like the world and like check out very cool architecture.
Yeah, well, these are the people that build those
for like 30 years or something. It's really good.
Yeah.
So there's the English one, which is the original one, and then they started the Australian one probably, like, I say just recently, but it was probably 10 years ago as well. And we got onto that and we're just like, I just fucking hate this guy. It's not the same. And then I was talking to Matt about it years ago, and he's we love the Australian one. We don't like Old Mate. And I was like, nah, Old Mate's what makes it. I don't know.
The
it's
Australian
interesting
one because he's sort of just like a bit like flippant and just like, what did you do here then? When he goes like the house at the end, he's like, what are you thinking?
I think too, though,
whereas like Kevin's always very positive, and he's never like, why did you put that door there?
Or the gap when it's like 2 years later, we're gonna see if they actually finished the garage, and you're like, oh fuck, here we go, we're in for a thing here. But like that's I think what makes it maybe the reason for that too is because like they build the houses in the style that and the way that we would for our, like, for the conditions and the space that we have. Whereas the English ones to us, they're like, this couple's bought 1 meter wide, 40 meter long block between two brick walls. How are they going to build something in here? And it's like, and you're like, well, how are they going to build something in here?
Yeah.
Like that's interesting. It turns out they're going to dig down 400 meters into the Earth's core for heat, and then they're going to fucking like waterproof this whole thing and put a swimming pool in the bottom of it. And you're like, all right, well, if that's what you want to do. But here we're just building nice, modern, beautiful houses.
Yeah.
That's not interesting.
The Australian stuff is really good though. We're pretty addicted to the block. The block's great.
Oh,
but
Jim.
I love.
The country, the tree change one's on now. We're about 4 episodes in.
There's been a bit of drama, hasn't there?
Oh, one couple just leaves on the second day overnight. Doesn't even tell the producers. They're just gone. Look at that.
Just fucked off. Doesn't
Fucked
suit
off.
their brand or something, wasn't it?
Here's something to the other guys that don't know this show, right? At the end of this show, you sell the house and you keep the profit. That's your prize, right? So people on this show, you kind of, unless it's a disaster of a year, but they're usually guaranteed at least a couple of $100,000, right? For what, 8 weeks work, I think, usually about.
Something.
So you get onto this show.
3 months, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
12 weeks.
So you do 12 weeks of hard work and you renovate this house, right? And you're pretty much guaranteed sort of 200 grand, the bare minimum. Some people have made like 800, 900 grand, right? Would you give up that? Tens of thousands of people every season apply for this shit. Do you get there, go through like the whole thing, do the promo shoot and like all that bullshit, get there for one day and then go, this isn't really on brand for us, and fuck off when you like and give that opportunity up? Like, what the? That's just totally
Maybe
bizarre.
something else happened. Who knows?
No, it didn't. That's like she's an influencer. He's an ex-footy player. They thought like they just roll in there and like make a bunch of cash real easy, and we're like, oh, this is actually hard, and fucked off. The show's been going for 27 fucking years. Everyone knows the deal. It's just bizarre.
I think you've hit the nail on the head, though, isn't it? Because it's more, when you watch this, I think a lot of them think it's edited for TV, and when you watch a lot of behind the scenes and these interviews with them, previous contestants and stuff, they're like, nah, it's fucking hard. It's really hard. It's genuinely hard. And also, it's quite unforgiving in how it portrays people, I think. Which is good, because I think we've watched a couple of series when there's been some absolute pieces of shit on there. And and in reality, the bad guys sometimes win. And it's kind of like that. So whether they've just turned around and thought, one, this is actually hard work and we thought it'd be good. And two, we're going to come across as absolute drongos. So maybe it's not good for our kind of thing. The PA or whatever has just said, nah, maybe you shouldn't do it. I don't know. Because they have to keep it quiet to a degree, don't they? So I don't know. It's a bit of a weird.
Matt's bored.
Yeah,
Matt's bored.
Why would you do that?
He doesn't want to talk about the reality TV show that he can't watch because it's not even on.
But this is I think this is the thing. Like, what I like about Australian TV programs is just the kind of how Australian TV presenters are. There's everything over here is sugar coated. Everything over here is kind of.
MasterChef shit though. Australian version of MasterChef is crap.
Hate it.
Absolutely
Hate it.
It's awful.
Your
It's like an
presenters
American
just
show. It's really got zero content.
And you know what's bizarre about that is that we used to watch that when it was the two dudes. It was the bald English chap and the Australian guy that doesn't sound like an Australian.
Yeah, that's who does it over here. Yeah.
Yeah, so they had that. It was a rinky-dink little thing where they would go into kitchens and it would be like a 3-day thing, right? That's what it used to be for the first 74 seasons. And then we made our version, which was like a big production and got hugely popular. And then they took that back. They've taken our version of their show and now they do their version. It's really bizarre. It's the one show where I was like, nah, we don't need all this.
They were literally just
cook a fucking flan.
Cooking some food. And then they were like, oh, you know what, this week, go in an actual kitchen, like a restaurant kitchen, and cook some food. See if you can cope with it. That was it, and there was no razzle dazzle. But the Australian ones all
you got to cry every 5 seconds, or else it's a journey, mate. It's a journey. Fuck me.
Anyway, whatever.
How about you, Tom? What have you been watching?
Anything black and white?
30 minutes later. Actually, I did.
Of course you did.
I started watching all the Kurosawa flicks. This is my new thing. I'm watching all of them, and I started. I've seen a bunch of them, but not all of them. And I started with chronologically. I started with his first one, where he's actually a co-director and what's his name? Kojiro Yamagota or something like that. I'm sorry that I butchered his name right now, but he is actually his mentor, and he took over in this 1941 VHS version of this film, because there's no remaster one of this one. It's called Horse, and it's about a family, and they take in a horse and
horse.
Like, a horse. What did you think?
I thought you said horse.
A
I
hole?
was like, wow, this is some hard hitting sort of stuff from old Big K.
Yeah, they take in some whores.
But yeah, some horses, like like a pony
Horsies.
horse. Yeah, horses. Exactly. Yeah. And they take this one horse in, and it gets pregnant, and they want to take it over the winter because they
Who
start.
gets the horse pregnant?
I think it was already
Curacao.
pregnant when they took it in for the winter.
Okay.
But it's like the production is really great because they filmed like an actual every season, like because they have like crazy winter going on, and they filmed at that, and so it was a long production, and the production value for 1941 is incredible. But I didn't get the nuances and things like that because the subtitles were pretty bad, and also the
always
quality. But I mean, I don't think there's a better version out there, so that's the thing. But since I wanted to start chronologically, I started off with this one. So that was really interesting.
VHS is the perfect quality anyway. You don't need more than that, right,
Yeah,
guys?
we should
Right,
make a
guys?
VHS.
I
We
think
should
so,
make a
yeah.
VHS.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
just as fun.
also I had last week I had the premiere of the Indian Forrest Gump remake.
Oh yeah, how'd you go?
I did that. It was great. I mean, the cinema was packed. All the people loved seeing it. I think I have some problems with it, but I think overall it like still worked in the cultural appropriate way they remade it. But the actor, like he overdid it a little bit. The Forrest Gump actor now.
Well, no way. A Bollywood film with overacting? No way.
No, come on. There's a lot of them who don't overact. So
I know.
don't push that
God.
button.
God, Florey.
God,
Yeah,
how
and
dare I?
I actually checked like since we talked about how many like because we're not getting behind watching all of that stuff getting behind all these TV shows and movies, and I've logged which all the movies I have watched is 241 this year so far,
Oh shit!
and
That's
it says here it is 30.1 movies per month and 7.3 movies per week.
Oh my god!
And
I've watched 41 movies this year.
And it
How
lists.
do you know that?
I have
Keeping a list.
I have
Oh my
letter
God.
I have
What the
Letterboxd. Letterboxd does it all for you, so it's like very easy and has
Oh
all the
really?
statistics for like
Yeah, you guys have got too much time for shit.
Like,
Maybe if
to keep a list of shit all. I don't
it lists.
less
The fun
time
thing
making
is
those.
I don't know what I've watched. Unbelievable.
the fun thing is the fun thing is
Open
it
your
lists
mouth when you talk,
even-
Matthew.
I was doing a Homer style mumble. Oh, goddamn shit.
Yeah,
You sound like
it lists
Muttley.
even all the genres and the countries and the languages, so that's like really interesting to see. And I most watch because they also put in like shorts and stuff, but no TV shows, just films. And my most watched actor is now Vin Diesel because I watched all the I Am Groot stuff.
Oh,
Oh, 'cause it's-
Oh, they're pretty good. I watched those.
Yeah, it was fun. Which one was your favorite, Matt?
When he learns to walk. I think
When he
that
goes,
was-
what? Oh, Learn to Work. Okay.
Yeah,
I
thought that was really funny.
I think I enjoyed the Magnum Opus one. I left it for last for some reason because I guess of the title, and then I think it was
Oh, is that with the
with the glitter bomb,
glitter and stuff? Yeah. That hits a bit close to home, that, because
Yeah. Okay.
kids do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
They want to make something and they'll just take whatever they need from wherever it is, whatever it is, and your house is destroyed.
Yeah. I mean, and glitter. You have glitter forever. Confetti and
Glitter is my house is just full of glitter.
Build can't have to build a new one.
They need to get their technology. That's something that has to improve is glitter tech as well, because
Glitter
like they put. I understand that glitter as a substance will always be something that gets everywhere, right? But if we're gonna put it on toys, like Matt, with the unicorns and shit, and it's like, oh, the main's covered in glitter, right? But they don't put a clear coat over it or something. Like it just
comes
fucking
off.
it comes off. Why
and then,
did you?
And then the kid's like, "Oh, it's come off." I'm like, "Well, sorry."
And now it's every fucking. It's
Let's
just
buy
everywhere.
glitter and glitter it again.
Re-glitter it. Clear coat. Get on it, somebody.
Are we nearly at the end of the episode?
Probably.
Yeah, I think so. We'll wrap stuff up in a minute.
Depends how bored.
okay,
How bored
bye.
are you, Matt? Matt's bored. He wants
I
lunch.
just don't feel very good.
Yeah, same. We've all got a different ailment this week.
All the ailments in the world.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, then, has anyone got anything
Most
this week
watched
they
episode yet. This one, I reckon.
Yeah.
They want to plug?
Posters are on sale. Did we already do that?
Yeah.
Sort of.
Still,
we're
month.
done. Yeah, we did that. Yeah.
Transformers the movie posters
what
will
can we
be on
plug?
sale
Let's
now.
see.
And August still has free worldwide shipping, people. So get
Mm.
that for
Oh,
Vikings.
yeah.
DesignerCon and DesignerCon in London in a couple of weeks. We're going to be there. Let's plug that.
When is that?
2 weeks.
Like which dates?
I'm looking now. It is the 2nd. It's the 3rd and 4th of September. At the XL in London. That is DesignerCon London. So it's at the XL. So me and Matt will be there.
Alright,
So Vice
alright.
President Matt will be there.
Oh, I have something to plug. Someone buy my APs, please. If you do this right, if you're going to email a man and say, or comment on a picture on the internet, right, and say, damn, missed it. Wish I could have got that. Possibly just go to his web store where he has an abundance of prints and buy it from there. MrFlorey.com/store.
You know that if you shut your store within half an hour, there'll be somebody saying, "Oh, I really wanted to buy one of those."
I loved watching
Specifically telling you what. I really wanted to buy, but it's shut now. Oh, what a shame. You go, well, actually, I've got some. Can open it, and then they just
Magically
like that.
disappear.
gone.
Anyway, that's okay. There's prints on
Cockroaches
that
when the
website.
light
Don't
turns
talk shit online.
Me?
on.
No,
There you go.
people
Can't help
that
it.
say they want something when they don't.
Tom, how about you? Got anything to plug?
I don't think so. I mean, the books are on the way, people. So if you're waiting for that, they are in shipping to us. And also, I'm as I said, I mentioned, I'm coming to London in September.
Yeah.
After DesignerCon, so
Jesus,
I'm
that's
gonna see
soon,
you
isn't
guys.
it? Oof.
yeah.
So I just remembered the rainbow unicorns. The first batch of those have been dispatched from the factory today.
Sick.
Oh,
They're
God,
going
don't-
to start going soon. What?
Don't publicly say that, because literally the day after this goes up, people will be saying, "Why haven't I got my unicorn
Where
yet?"
is it?
Matt said they've
No,
been
just
sent.
because they've been sent from the factory doesn't mean I've got them. I'm just saying that it's in process. It's fine.
They exist somewhere. You will have them soon. I wonder
Indeed.
if I'll
Patience,
get mine in the
people.
first
Patience.
batch.
I have to tell you, so this the longest I'm since I've been waiting on a poster. I think I'm waiting on one commission poster for over 2 years now.
Oh, really?
Is Lady Lazarus printing it?
I don't know who's printing it actually. I guess nobody. So
Yeah.
Oh, it's not even been printed.
no.
I just
But
know
it-
they
it's-
do a lot of commissions.
Like I think the design is like the poster has been done for a year now.
What's it for?
I don't know if I can say.
Okay.
Oh, it's one of those kind. I understand.
Oh, I'm in a secret commission club, and we
No,
can't
it's
possibly
like-
tell what it's gonna be.
It's not like that, but like then people notify the people with the rights, and then shit hits the fan, and no poster for me.
Yes, right. Okay. God forbid anyone pays for licenses, but that's a whole nother thing.
No, that's a whole nother story.
I've got nothing against it.
Right, let's wrap shit up for this episode. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening. We appreciate it. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. Bye.
All right, bye guys.